Good morning and welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration, here to inspire, enlighten, and to build up humanity, especially my 1,374 subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. I'm glad you're here, and I know we're going to have a good time. Today's topic is going to be misogyny, preference, and oppression. I'll tell you about that right after this. Like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. You have to be strong enough to endure these things. You have to approach women. With today's social media, she's constantly being hit on. Women are always in the game. You have to stay focused. We are men. That's what we do. Okay, let's get after it. Did you like and subscribe? If not, do it now. Okay, the reason I brought up this topic today, misogyny, what was it? Misogyny, oppression, and what was the other one? Oh well, anyway, we're going with misogyny. I've been called misogynist many times. More times lately because I express my views on social media about women knowing their place. Oh, that just pisses them off. I know my place. I know my place in society. I know my place in nature. I know my place as a man. What's wrong with that? What if a woman said, you need to know your place? I would say, well, I do. But you say that to a woman, they get pissed off because they feel oppressed. Now, it has nothing to do with what actually is happening in reality. It's how they feel. So you can't argue with a woman. You can debate with her, but you will never change her mind because you can't change her feelings. So I want you guys to remember that the next time your woman tries to pick an argument with you. Stop. You say your piece, what you mean, and then stop. And if she wants to continue arguing, just walk away. And when she calms down, you can listen to what she has to say. If she's being kind of irate, which she may well be if you don't agree with her. Have you ever watched these debates, some between Jordan Peterson and a feminist? What happens is he's a great debater, and the woman usually ends up getting mad, and instead of staying on the subject, the topic, she starts attacking his character. They start coming up with insults to the person that has nothing to do with the topic they're debating about. All I need to do is state that I want a traditional wife. Let's say I wanted a woman that stayed home, cooked and cleaned, took care of the kids. You will hear these women, oh, you want a slave, you're a misogynist, you're oppressing the women. What's wrong with that? I'm stating my preference. But yet women can get on a dating site and state their preference, and that's okay. But when men do it, they're misogynists, they're oppressors, they're macho, etc., etc. So what's the antidote to this? There isn't one. In our modern society where women have more freedoms than they've ever had in history. And in the US, they have more freedoms than any other countries in the world, save a few maybe for the UK and Australia. They are so babied and pampered that they just don't know how good they have it. So they feel oppressed. And that's what I said. You can't change the way they feel, so don't try to. If that's how they feel, it's real to them. Whatever they feel is real. I'll give you an example. Some of you may have been in a long-term relationship for quite some time, so you may be able to relate to this. Your woman will say something like this. You never say you love me. And you're thinking, I just told you that this morning before I left for work. And she's angry. How come you don't ever tell me you love me? So as a man, you logically think, well, honey, I told you this morning, yesterday morning. Actually, I've told you every morning before I left for work, and I told you when I come home tonight. And you're thinking, what the hell is she talking about? How can that be? I told her every morning, and I told her tonight when I came home. That's logic. Trying to use logic with a woman, whether she be a feminist or some woman that feels oppressed, or your woman and she's telling you that she doesn't feel loved by you, that you never say you love her, it doesn't work. So here's what you do. Honey, you know I love you. I understand how you feel. And then that's it. If she wants to go on about it, you just walk away from her. I guarantee you in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a half an hour, she'll be over it and act like it never happened. And if she's not, give her some more time, it'll pass. Because that's how she feels. And what a woman feels is real to her, regardless of if it's logical or not. So when you get into this misogynist and oppression, like this woman I was debating with on Facebook, she feels oppressed. Now, no matter what kind of factual, logical evidence I show her, in her mind, she's still going to believe she's oppressed. It doesn't matter what you show her. It doesn't matter that you show her that she's more free than any woman in history. It doesn't matter. She feels oppressed. She feels like I'm a misogynist. I don't hate women. My God, I've been married 4 times, and I've gone out with women since then. I don't hate them. I love women. I love being with women. I had just stated the fact that not to marry women in America because the court system is so involved in the contract that for a man it's a lose-lose. It's a big risk, 50-50 chance of getting divorced. 70% of the divorces are initiated by the woman. So you young men need to think about that. Because if you have a kid with her, you're going to be paying the rest of your, well, for about 18 to 21 years. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't take responsibility for your kid. The problem is you'll have little say in the way that child is raised. For example, if you don't believe in vaccinations, she can take that kid and have a, what's it called? The latest vaccination that they say we should have, and have that. There's nothing you can do about it. Even though in the divorce decree it says that you both have equal rights on the medical decisions. Doesn't matter. Now, you can go to court and fight for that, but she pretty well has the say if she has full custody. And the chances of you getting full custody, unless she's an axe murderer, are slim to none. And in some states, if you've been married 10 years, you have to pay lifetime alimony. So one of my points is this: why are they strong, independent women until you get divorced? And then they can't make it without the man's help. That doesn't add up, does it? But see, that's logical. You and I know, you men know, that's logical. Women do not think logically. When they call me a misogynist, a true misogynist is someone who hates women. Let's look it up here. Let's see what it says. Let's see what the definition of misogynist is. Just so I won't misquote something here. I'm not sure if I know how to spell it. I think it's M-Y-S, here it is. No, misogynistic. Misogynistic meaning, misogyny. My gosh, oh, here it is. Misogyny. Well, surely I can find it here. Well, let's say misogynistic. Let's put it that way. I can't find misogynist. Strongly prejudiced against women. Deeply ingrained misogynist attitudes. Okay, what does the meaning of being misogynistic? No, that's not what I want. Let me see. What does misogyny mean in simple terms? Well, let's try that. Let's see what that says. Misogyny. Those who looked up misogyny in Merriam-Webster's online dictionary would find a tense definition: a hatred of women. Why is it every time you disagree with a woman or you disagree that women are oppressed that you hate women? You're a misogynist. I don't get it. But there again, that's the way they feel. And the way they feel is not what is real. But to them it is, so you can't argue with them. I certainly don't hate women. God, I've been married 4 times. Does that sound like someone who hates women? Am I resentful of women? No. My divorces were, except for the first one, and maybe another one, were really difficult with custody battles, but looking back in retrospect, those women did me a favor. All that built me up and helped me to become a better man. Now, my life is extremely successful and prosperous now. I have a life that people dream of, and I'm blessed, fortunate. And I look at their lives afterwards because they raked me across the coals and tried to destroy me. They're all miserable. Three of them. I don't know about the first one, but I screwed that one up, so I'll take full responsibility for that. I was young, in my 20s. I was drinking, partying, and I was not a good husband, okay? But the last three, I was a good husband. And the one even said that, as I've told you before. You're a good husband, a good father, but I just can't live this type of life. Then she goes off with the guy who just got out of jail with the ankle bracelet on, and he's dealing meth. So there you go, okay? Now, do I hate women because of that? No, I don't. I love women. I have a daughter. She's 15 years old. I'm doing my best to raise her that she will be a respectable woman of high value, that she'll be able to get her a high value man who will take care of her, provide, and protect her. That's what I'm doing, all right? Am I raising her to be oppressed? No, I don't want her to be oppressed. She's not oppressed. Anytime anybody messes with her, she's got 5 brothers, and they go take care of it. So there you go. Is she being oppressed? Is she being belittled? Is she not being taken care of? Women are the weaker sex. We're not the same. You're never going to have a baby if you're a man. Well, maybe they'll come up with some way to do that scientifically. And women are never going to have the emotional and physical strength as men. It's just the way it is. It's the way nature made it. So, just because I believe that men and women are different and we're not the same doesn't make me a misogynist. I love feminine women. Femininity is a power, and it's so belittled here in the United States. It's so belittled. Think about it. How many women were behind some of the great men in history? And they used their femininity to motivate that man to become even greater. And what you've heard of a king, right? Well, guess what? You have a king and a queen. So the king is the most powerful. Guess who's second in command? The queen. We have a president, then we have the first lady. 2 powerful people. Now, she supported the man, so she has power too. She didn't get that by going out there and using her brute force or her physical strength or her dominance. No, she got it by her feminine power. And on the reverse side of that, many kings and leaders have been brought down by the feminine persuasion of a woman. And that's what I'm saying. Women have an extraordinary power when it comes to men, and they can overpower men with their femininity. But we're taught in society today, at least here in the West, that women are strong. They show these women. My son was telling me that in some new movie, there's a woman, and she's the one that saves the day and conquers the bad guy. And we see more and more of that in our society. And kids and people grow up believing that women can go out here like a 100-pound woman, beautiful woman, goes out there and kicks the ass of these 220 and 40-pound Secret Service badass men, these agents. And it's just not reality. But yet, if you push enough of that on people as they grow up, these kids, they come to believe that that's true. And I think that's one reason why we have these women who believe that men and women are the same, and that women are actually more powerful physically and more dominant than men. And then we have men who are becoming more feminine. So it's really not good for society because it's based on fantasy, fiction. But people love fiction. People love to be entertained. They don't realize that what they're letting into their mind is changing them, is programming them to believe something that is not beneficial to them or humanity. I'm going to stop there because I'm getting off topic, but if someone calls you misogynist, just take a look at yourself and ask yourself if you hate women. You probably don't, but you've disagreed with a woman, and she feels like you're a misogynist because you're not going along with her agenda. So it's not you. But I do say whenever someone says something to you, look within yourself, because that's where the answer lies. As always, the power is within. If you'd like to donate, hit the PayPal button. If you'd like to get my help personally, marksinspiration.com is my website. I will put the link in the description as well as my email. And thank you for joining me today. Have a great day. Take care.